What's going on, everybody? We have a good special show tonight. I love AHTV and friends. I didn't do it last week. Sorry about that. But we're here tonight with Ray from England, from good old jolly England. And we got Selly. You still in Sacramento right now, ish?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'll be here for a little while.
All right. Good. Well, good to see you again. Glad to have you back on.
Thank you.
And Lucas, haven't seen you in a while. Well, I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute. That 3 to 11 schedule's a rough one.
Oh, God, I hated that. Used to do that long time. Hated it. But glad to see you again. And we got Wally, the King of Prussia.
Yeah.
The King's in the house.
All right.
Yeah, right on.
I'm rocking my Detroit Hammers, new Detroit Hammers shirt.
Yeah, you know what? And please go head on over to ahtv.threadless.com. You can pick up a shirt just like Wally's, or you can get it with any color you want, any size. You get women's, children's, all the good stuff. You also get other things with that logo or many other logos on it. So check it out. And yeah, we're going to get right into this. I'm going to go pull up something real quick. Thank you to everybody also that popped in the chat room. We're going to do some Hammers polls tonight. I do see Tony Pearson in here. We're actually going to ask one of your questions, which was supposed to be one of my topics, but I didn't realize it was a Hammers poll, so we're going to save that question later. And because you see Foshizi and Sofian, and I guess that's how you say it. I'm sorry, dude, I butchered that. But Kieran and Wally. Good to see Wally in the chat room.
Yeah.
And, Neil and Foshizi and Luke and Mike and everybody else. So anyway, could spend the whole night doing that. It's awesome. Thank you everybody for tuning in. But yeah, let's share this screen and we'll get your opinions on all this. Basically, it has to do with the bottom six and the remaining schedule. If everything just so happens to get played, all 9, and for Aston Villa's case, 10 matches left. I'd like to hear your thoughts looking at the strength of schedule here. I don't know if you guys can see this, maybe not, but if anybody at home wants to play along and let us know what you think of these strength of schedules, and also who you think is going to go down out of this lot. What I didn't pull up was the actual current table, so you could see where they stand and how many points they have based off of how many points they could pick up potentially. But listen, looking at these matches between Norwich and Watford and West Ham and Aston Villa and Bournemouth and Brighton, we all get some tough matches in there. Everybody does. Look at I think we all got to play Man U. I mean, I think a bunch of us have to play City, and I see Leicester in there quite a few times, and Spurs for quite a few of us, and so on. So anyway, what do you all think? Like, people in the chat room, please chime in. Who do you think is going down out of this lot? And let us know. But anyway, we'll start with Ray, and we'll go down from there, taking turns.
So it's got to be a given that Norwich is going to be the first team down this season, isn't it? They're bottom of the league. They are 6 points away from West Ham, Bournemouth, Watford. I think it's got to be a given that they're going to be the team that's going down first.
I'm having you listen. I'm going to have you put a tenner on there for me that Norwich stays up, and then you can keep the money once they win. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
As a little present from me to you, because I'm telling you, I think it's going to be miraculous. But anyway, go ahead, Ray.
Well, I don't see them beating Wolves, Leicester, Sheffield, or even Southampton, Everton, or Arsenal. So by then, I think they've gone. They're out of the picture by then. So it's going to be a tough old boot for them to get up. As for the next team, I think it's probably going to be Villa. I just don't see how Villa's going to get enough points. Apart from Jack Grealish and Mins in defence, they haven't really got a team strong enough for it. So I think Norwich, Aston Villa are going to be first two teams down. Now, after that, I feel like it's going to be between Brighton and Bournemouth who go down. Yes, I did not say West Ham. I don't think we can go down. I think our squad's good enough, strong enough. We've got Jack Wilshere back. Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Jack Wilshere is back.
The
He's going
savior.
to put in some classes. And let's all be honest, if you look at the German league, a lot of the teams, it's like a training session for them. It's like pre-season. Who was our best player in pre-season?
Yeah.
Jack the man Wilshere. Just saying. So I know you don't agree, Tim. I know you don't agree, but Jack Wilshere is the man. It's getting. I would like to see it. Moyes try a few different things with players, but I think with the players that we've got Antonio, definitely super sub right there. We've got my man Bowen, loads of energy, loads of pace. I can see us probably getting a result against Liverpool as well. I hope so because I live here. Cunts. So I really see us doing a deed, and I see us stand up. You know,
Right on, Sully. I'm sorry. Before you go, I did notice, and obviously the people in the chat room can't read this unless you are watching this on your big giant flat screen. But the point totals, the current point totals, are at the bottom of all of these schedules here.
They're not current. This is if you add 3 more games or take the top 3 games off, and that's where we're at. So if you see Liverpool, Southampton, Arsenal, we already played
sorry, yeah.
So yeah, so I mean it's still pretty much the same. It's just the point totals are a little different, but they're not too far off. But anyway, I would agree. I think Norwich, and it's funny because I did say Norwich. They could mess around, and they're only 6 points back. They could sneak up if they get some results. But I would say Norwich, Bournemouth, and Brighton go down. If I had to choose 3, those would be the ones. But the thing for me that is a huge catalyst in all this is the fact that we're not playing in front of any fans, no matter where we're playing at. So I mean, there's no real advantage for home or away. Which is crazy because I mean, our away fixtures alone are pretty much the entire top 6, with the exception of Newcastle. So if we had to play at Spurs, at Newcastle, at Norwich, well, I guess that's not top 6, but at United, that's not an incredible easy away schedule. I mean, Newcastle, their stadium's huge. Norwich, everybody's right there on top of you. But with no fans being there, you don't really have anything to lose. And I saw something on Twitter too. Gary was sharing something to the effect of, will Anderson perform better because, there's nobody, there's no pressure or anything like that. And I thought it was really interesting to see, that you have that kind of mental aspect of it with certain players. If they're not playing in front of anybody but themselves, will they shine more? So I don't know. We'll see. But if I had to pick 3, Norwich, Villa, and Brighton would be mine.
Norwich, Villa, and Brighton. All righty. Wally, what about you?
Okay, so here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at who plays what teams that are basically safe, which I think is the teams that are with the white shading. And because I think any team that's safe, mid-table, they have nothing to play for. It looked like in the Bundesliga, those teams were just like mailing it in. I saw, team lose like 5-0. They didn't care. They're just trying to get the season over with. So clearly Norwich only has 2 of those teams. They're playing only 2 of them, so they're down. Mm-hmm. The other one is Aston Villa. They only have 2, Newcastle and Crystal Palace. They're down. So the third team, I think, looks like Bournemouth. They have 3, so do we. But I think Bournemouth's schedule just looks harder than us. So I'm going with Norwich, Aston Villa, and Bournemouth. One's going
Good man. Yeah. Except for Norwich. But yeah. Anybody that says Bournemouth going down, thank you. Love you. Lucas.
So, it is really tricky. Like Sally said, with no fans going to be there, there's some teams I feel like that could play a lot better than they do with fans just because of that pressure not being there. Like Norwich, it's tough for me to lock in Norwich just because, no fans and they're already so attacking and play no defense. That could help them with no pressure. They just go balls out on the counterattack.
Their livelihood depends on it. And
Yeah.
I'm saying a lot of these teams, it doesn't. So,
And Wofford, Wofford, they fight hard, but they don't really have a lot of quality besides a few players. And then Aston Villa, they're decent. Bournemouth, decent. Brighton, I think, is decent. If I had to pick three, it's tough. I'd probably go Norwich, Watford, and then I think I'll pick Bournemouth.
Watford's
Thank
interesting
you.
too because
Good man.
Deeney's not playing either. now that you bring that up,
well, didn't he say? I don't know. Didn't he retract that statement?
If he
didn't he
did,
say
I
he
didn't
wasn't?
see it.
Then he said he is. I don't know. I thought there was a retraction about that. Someone was mentioning that the other night. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but
he'll be in trouble if he decides to not play. I think.
well, listen, and that goes. We don't know precisely what everyone's team sheet looks
And
like.
we don't know who's fit and who's not.
That too.
Yeah.
Too. Because looking at the training videos, they obviously YouTube videos can make anybody look fit and sexy and everything else. Yarmolenko looks like a beast.
For God's sake, we had 3 people injured. Apparently, we didn't even know it.
Will Shirt,
Right.
exactly. So, I don't know. So what I think is, I think it's going to be Villa, Bournemouth, and Brighton. Period. And I think that's just because of I hate Bournemouth. I don't think they belong in the league. I think they're tiny little thing, and they're not going to be able to handle it better. And Villa, I just their schedule is just brutal. Their schedule is brutal. Plus, they're going to finish off against us, and like somebody in the chat room earlier was saying that we usually finish our season strong, even when we're in trouble the whole season. I really think that that match against Villa, we're going to smash them.
And our last half seems super, super reasonable.
Reasonable.
We should get some points, hopefully.
Reasonable. You get Norwich, Watford, United. That who knows, and then Villa. And then you got obviously Burnley and Newcastle before that. Yeah, so it looks fairly okay for us. And again, you look at fucking Bournemouth. You get United, Spurs, Leicester City, Manchester City, Southampton, and finish off with Everton away. That doesn't sound too good for me. I think that's an automatic see you later. And you got Brighton, who has they finish off with Liverpool, City, Southampton away, which is not really easy for anybody, and then Newcastle at home and Burnley away. Burnley's a tough spot for anybody away. People say that Burnley's a small club or a shit club too, but look at where they are at the table. Look how they performed this season. Period.
Yeah,
they're not easy, especially away. And then Norwich. They get they could be a lot of the teams that they're playing against the bottom 6. You get Brighton, Watford, and West Ham. Chelsea away. Shit, we beat Chelsea away. Burnley at home should be okay for them, and then they finish off City away. That could be the death knell for them. But I don't know. Compared to these other teams, who knows? I definitely think that it's going to be Villa, Bournemouth, and Brighton. I think Watford, if Deeney does play, even if Deeney doesn't play, they still have a decent squad, and Nigel Pearson has done wonders with them since he's taken over the club. And plus, you take, like you guys said, take home advantage out of the window. It doesn't matter really. If there's no fans, what's the advantage really for anybody? And also, a lot of people are going to be scared of catching COVID, and you don't know how anybody they're going to be, and if their hearts are going to be in it. You don't know who's going to be stepping up, who's not. It's like really a clean slate for everybody. It's just a matter of Norwich is going into this at the bottom, and there's only one way out, and they're going to be fighting for it. You know what I mean? And these other clubs who aren't necessarily in the bottom 3, like Brighton and Bournemouth, that aren't going to be giving as much a shit to begin with. But then once they realize they're in trouble, they're going to start to fight, but it's going to be too late for them. Anyway, it's just my opinion, and opinions are like assholes. That was our segment. Opinions are like assholes. Thanks to Sully, he came up with that idea.
I think too, another race that'll be really interesting to watch will be the race for 4th and 5th place, because that's pretty tight right now. Chelsea is in 4th, sitting at 48, and I guess you got Sheffield at 43, and Tottenham is at 41. I don't know what the rest of their schedule looks like, but that'll be really interesting to see too. Leicester, they'll be fine. Manchester City, they, could just mail it in. They're more unlikely those are going to be your Champions League teams, and kudos to Leicester for being in that spot all season. That's really awesome for them. But I think that'll be interesting too. So playing those teams, I think will be, because they're playing for something too. But once you get to like 8 down to like, what is it, 8 to 14? Just coasting.
God, Sheffield United's like the bad boy Pistons.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Totally. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
When we played Sheffield United, one of their guys took out Anderson right near the end of the match. I mean, he just took him out, and Anderson wanted to come off, but we'd used all our subs, and he just like stood on the pitch.
Just Bill Laimbeer style.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Bill Laimbeer. All right. Shout out to my Pistons.
There you go.
All right.
Oh my God, Detroit! It's Detroit night in the show in the house.
Mhm.
We're gonna move on from that shit. We already said what we got to say about that, and everybody else in the chat room did too. So thank you for participating with us in the chat room, people. Football.London, I guess, posted yesterday or today. Who knows? That it wasn't Football.London. Who the fuck was it? I don't know. Everybody said it. Payet said that claims that he was not pressured enough at West Ham. It wasn't pressured enough by the fans or really anybody. Like he is at Marseille. What are your guys' thoughts on that? And does it really fucking matter? Lucas, start with you, and we'll go counterclockwise.
I mean, fuck no, he had no pressure. He was playing well literally every game or every other game. He was playing really, really well. And I don't know, could you say Marseille is just as big of a club as us?
He seems to think that they're bigger. And that's the reason why he said that there's more pressure there, because he said that although we're a Premier League club, I forgot the fucking word that he used, but it was like mid-level. We're not as big, is what he was saying indirectly.
I don't know. It's a tricky question, but do I think he felt any pressure with us? No, just because everyone loved him, and I can't. I mean, you're never going to remember a bad Dimitri Payet game ever. The only person that's going to like remember a bad game is like a hater, and I don't think we had any Payet haters ever until
until Luke says, "Oh shit." He has a point. We don't have the conviction as a club to make it to top in our current state. That's Luke from Irons United. What's going on, Luke? I don't know about that. What do you think, Wally?
Well, I think you can just look at one thing, and that's the manager. It was, I mean, Bill,
You started shit with me.
Yeah. No, I'm saying the manager wasn't pushing him enough. He was like buddy.
Everybody's buddy.
Yeah. So, and clearly that second season, the first season in the new stadium, I mean, Billick was just, nothing was really happening. So, and I think he was just too much, good friends with Payet, and was like, okay, you want to take time off to go, sleep around. Okay. That's fine. Oh, you don't like it here. Okay. We'll trade you, So
Dennis Rodman did it. Why can't Payet?
Yeah.
Right.
Rodman. Oh, that guy was awesome for us. But anyway, beside the point. So yeah, anyway, I think it points at the manager, it was too friendly, not pushing the players enough. And particularly he was probably just, keeping Payet, trying to keep Payet happy. And so I guess it didn't work.
No, didn't at all. But Sally, what do you think about the comments and whatnot?
Well, I think it's interesting because I guess with Marseille, it's easy for him to say that because Marseille's sitting second in League One over there. Yeah. Pretty comfortably at second place too. So I mean, good for them. But I think at the same time, kind of like what you guys are saying, like I don't know what kind of pressure, if you're the top guy, like what kind of pressure are you looking for? Like we were right there, we made European football, and I think, the pressure to repeat that, got to the team as a whole. And then when the pressure did get to the team, he kind of quit.
Yeah.
Like whether he wanted to stay or leave, like, it showed. So I don't know what kind of pressure. Like he left one of the toughest leagues in the world to go play one of the easiest leagues in the world. So I mean, I don't know if he's talking about pressure to perform week in and week out, or if he just wanted to go and coast. I mean, okay, cool, good for you, but at the same time, like, you were the guy here. You went to Marseille, and I mean, I don't know how his form has been, but I mean, he was in the French national side when he played for us, and then he kind of just disappeared into the ether when he went to go play for Marseille. Obviously they're doing well. I'm assuming he's a contributing factor to that, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, if you wanted pressure, like, you should have realized, like, your position as the guy and lifted everybody else up. Like, we failed a lot. He has 12 goals this season. He has a red card too. Good for him. Or no, how many is that? It says he has the most reds on the team. That's crazy. How many red cards is that?
Really?
Yeah,
Brilliant.
He's probably
Oh,
just
okay. No,
chopping
he
people.
he has one red card. He has 5 yellows, 1 red. Good for him.
Oh, okay.
But it threw me off because it had his jersey number, and it looked like it said he had 11 red cards, but it was just his jersey number. But anyways, I don't know.
Is it even possible to get 11 in a season?
Hey, Sergio Ramos, he'll tell you.
Okay, good one. Fair enough.
But yeah,
Ray.
Him.
So
Right.
yeah, my views on it is Marcel gets into the Champions League every season, so there's a bit more pressure to get into the Champions League. There is a higher standard of football in the Champions League. They don't do get to it, so maybe that's a factor for it. I personally think he wasn't challenged because the board at the time didn't challenge him with decent signings. They didn't bring in better signings to take us to that next level. We moved into the next level stadium, so they said, but they didn't take us to the next level with signings. From what I remember, what I get back is that they turned around and went, "Oh, we need to get 10 signings in because we're in Europe, and we need to get as many games under our belt," and then we was kicked out after like 2-3 games. So what they should have done is, instead of just buying 10 mediocre players, they should have bought 2, maybe even 3 at a push, quality players, players that could take us to that next level. Because I think at that point we could have jumped up, because we had a fantastic season at the Bowling, all the emotions, all the last game of the season. Got a brand new stadium, it's a selling point, central London. They could have gone in, spent a lot of money on 2 world-class players. I'm going to say world-class players, and maybe gave Payet, I better pull my socks on. Them boys are going to training, doing world-class stuff. Why am I not doing it?
I used to play devil's advocate on that too. They tried at least with one with Zaza, and he just completely fell flat.
Didn't try.
Can we not talk about that?
I'm just saying.
I'm going to defend Zaza because I think he could have been a quality player, but because they put him on loan, because they said, you've got to buy him if you play X amount of games, I don't think he focused, and he panicked, and his head was thinking, because he wanted to succeed. When you've got that much pressure, you either make it or you don't, and then he didn't make it because he had too much pressure on him. Relax him, get him in the team. How many world-class strikers, Henry, for instance, takes a season to settle in?
Yeah, fair.
And I think they could have they could have even got a better striker than Zaza into West Ham.
Yeah, definitely.
And I agree with what Selly said about pressure with Marseille versus West Ham. You got to think about it in leagues like League One. You can coast through 70% of the season, but you have got to show up against those 3-4 teams that you play. In the Premier League, you got to show up every single day.
And if I remember rightly, weren't we in talks to get Jamie Vardy? Apparently, he was all about the wages, so they didn't pull him in because they thought it was just going to be too much wages. Look at now, paying them price wages. Could have done it then and got us in next level.
Could have had Neymar too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
And Beckham.
Heartbreak FC.
Oh shit. But we
Never a
had
dull moment.
yeah, but we had Marwan Shamak. That's so I want to thank everybody for participating in our little social media fun today. We made a post about name this player. We had a picture of Marwan Shamak and said wrong answers only, and God Almighty, the answers were great. We did great. So go check it out. There was comments and replies and all the other good stuff all over. So on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I think the winner is on Twitter. I'm not going to say it. But just check out the Twitter ones. That's all I got to say. And I also do have to call out somebody in the chat room, put them on the spot, because Wednesday night we have an amazing show lined up. Hammer Shots, right? We're looking for people to participate in the trivia show, right? You want to test your knowledge. It's not about testing your knowledge, really. It's about beating Jazz and beating Tom Atherton and getting high up on the leaderboard, Irish Tommy, seeing how high you can get up on the leaderboard. But also, it's fun. I mean, we get to play Hangman, like with West Ham players. We get to play as answers, and you get to do the Who Am I. It's just a really fun time. Adam Frankel from West Ham is why we drink. It's a great time. So that said, Dom from the West Ham Fan TV fan cams, everybody knows Dom. He agreed to do the show.
Nice.
And first person I could think of that would be a great matchup for him was Charlie Boy. So I said, Charlie Boy, would you do the show? And he said, no, thanks, but I'll tune in and watch. So sorry to throw you under the bus, Charlie Boy, because I thought that would be a brilliant matchup, a great show, great fun, but I love you anyway. And listen, anybody else want to step up and go against Dom on Wednesday night, please message me. I answer all of the American Hammers Network social media accounts. So you just send a little message along. And if you want to go up against Dom on Wednesday night, which should be 8 p.m. Eastern time, which is about 1 a.m. in the UK, please step up and have some fun, with Adam and Dom. That'd be great. Anyway, that's my under the bus for the evening. So yeah, what are we gonna talk about next? The team was training supposedly today in full kit at London Stadium, and not just that, but apparently other teams in the league thought that was a great idea, and they might do the same at their own stadiums. So, what are your thoughts on the mastermind of Mr. Moyes and this tactic? Is it beneficial for the team? Does it really matter at all? We'll start with Ray and go clockwise this time.
Hats off to him. That's a genius idea. It is common sense at its finest. Get the team in, get them into the rhythm of putting on gloves in a change room, or making sure they've got everything in their place. They've got to take their kit with them. God knows what else, etc., etc. Get back used to back in the stadium. Training without a crowd. It just bleeds common sense, and fair play to Moyes or whoever's idea it was to do it. Brilliant. Fair play to him.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's kind of getting everybody back into the mentality of getting back into to game day. Plus playing in an empty stadium, it's gonna obviously the field itself doesn't change, like the football playing aspect of it doesn't change, but at the same time, like when you're playing in an empty stadium, you're going to be able to hear the voice reverberations off of the seats and stuff like that. So I think it's you might not have to shout as loud to get to somebody who's across the pitch. So I think just kind of learning those little small things about it is going to play a factor. So and it won't be as big as a shock. If you're training in an empty stadium the first time you go and play in one, the only difference is going to be if you're playing on the road. It's like, oh well, this stadium looks really nice when it's empty, kind of thing, or whatever. But other than that, I think it was a brilliant idea.
Yeah, I have to agree. I agree with all those points, especially getting used to playing in an empty stadium, like a stadium that big with all those seats. It's got to be disconcerting to go in there with nobody in there and play. So I think if they go in for practice and get used to that feeling, I think that's a great idea. And also, I think it's good to, when you're in that pitch, just in general, I think they should practice more in there because they get the sight lines, like they know where, how far the out of bounds is or whatever, get used to those proportions. So yeah, I think it's a great idea.
All great points, but we missed the huge one. Anything is better than Rush Green.
Yeah.
Any place
Also
is better
true.
than that. So all good points, but not being at Rush Green could be a huge advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts.
Are they able to drive like directly to the London Stadium? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure they could, but I don't know if they could. I don't know what the parking lot is like for them
Yeah.
there. Because don't they normally just take a coach to it?
They've got underground car parking, from what I understand.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That makes
Very
sense.
nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. What do you think, Tim?
That's I think it's brilliant. I do.
Yeah.
I think you guys said it all already. I mean, it just makes a lot of sense. It can't hurt, obviously, right? I mean, they're going to be just playing practice against another team anyway, so with no fans. So it just makes most sense. I agree.
Can we throw Neil's comment real quick? Who's going to go get the ball after Antonio hits it into Rosie?
Neil, that is my man.
We're going to need a higher ball boy.
You might be able to catch it there in South Australia, Neil.
Right, yeah.
That's right.
Once it goes into orbit, for sure.
People are giving me shit for calling out Charlie.
Playing.
Oh, damn.
Well, he's done a runner now, isn't he? He's probably logged off.
Yeah.
Oh, I listen. I've been watching the numbers, and I waited for the numbers to decline a bit before I chickened out before I called him out. I noticed he wasn't in there. So anyway, now listen. I love Charlie. We have a love-hate relationship when it comes down to getting him on the show. I've tried many times, and then he says no to me forever, and then he all of a sudden he's here all the time, and then he disappears again for a while. But listen, guys, you got to put pressure on him, because how awesome would it be to watch him go against Dom? You think two super strong personalities with the beloved language of God, and I think it would be just the best show ever. Anyway,
Fear of God.
well, yeah,
Must see TV.
Astragugu versus New York style pizza. I mean, Nathan's hot dog. So it would be
Hey,
great.
no food chat on air, Tim, please. No.
Oh, that's
food
right.
chat.
Shit. Sorry. I guess I'm banned. I'll see you guys later. You guys can finish the show. Anyway, let's get this Hammers polls going, because my next topic was going to be the first Hammers poll. So let's see if I can do this real quick. Shoot. It's actually, I wish Charlie Walsh was here. He'd get a kick out of this one, I guess. And also Tony. Tony keeps popping in and out because he's having trouble with the chat. I was also having trouble with the chat too. With the shows that I'm not on, I for whatever reason I have to refresh. I can't refresh the comments. I have to go out and come back in to refresh the comments, which is I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's just my iPhone or my internet or what, but apparently I'm not the only one having that issue. It looks like Tony Pearson was also having that issue. So anyway, this is from Tony Pearson, this question. According to a report on Football London, and there's Tony, yep. Jordan Hugel is a prime candidate to wear the number 9 shirt next season. You got to read the article. It's not just Tony's thoughts, so don't bash Tony about this or myself for bringing this up. But basically, the article was saying that there's many things that point to this happening. Obviously, Moyes is the one who signed him. He must have liked him to begin with. He did do a good job this season for QPR, and there's many reasons. So anyway, what are your thoughts? We'll start with Lucas and go backwards. So the answers are yes, he should be given a chance. Championship is his level, or no, we just need to buy somebody else. So Lucas, what do you pick?
I might not be the best for this because I'm a huge team-oriented guy. I think everyone should get at least one chance.
Yeah.
But under the circumstances and what he did for QPR, he should definitely be given at least a chance. Ajeti didn't really do anything, even though he still hasn't had a lot of playing time, and I think he could be decent. I mean, why the hell not?
Well, okay, here's what I think. I think if giving him the number 9 shirt will replace him walking out to Bubbles, then let's do it. Then he doesn't have to play, and he's
That's what I'm
happy
saying.
and joyous, and yes, that. So keep him off the pitch.
I mean, think about it. I mean, what did our number 9 do this year?
Yeah, who is our number 9? You're
Did he even walk out this year to Bubbles?
who's
Did our number 9 this year? So yeah, but you give him the number anyway.
Yeah.
Sully.
Yeah, give him a chance. I don't see why not. I mean, he's done nothing but perform down at the level he's at now. So I mean, you're not going to know until he tries. So I think he has a lot of passion to perform well for the team, and I think fans want to see him do well. So I don't see why not. Just give him a chance.
Ray.
Given,
Tell the truth.
give him the
Charlie's
number
not
9.
here.
Give him the number 9 shot you're having a draft. No, you should not give it. Don't care if Charlie was there or not. He's not good enough to be the number 1 striker, and that's what the number 9 shirt says. What we should do is turn around and say, "There you go, Haller, number 9 shirt. You're our main striker. This is your season. You've had your season to get used to how we want to play and how everything is. Now this is your main guy." That will then give him a confidence boost. He loves the number 9 shirt anyway. So, let's just see how he goes with that. Should we give him a chance? No, I think we shouldn't. He's championship level for me. I would also prefer to see, I'm all about the youth. If you've seen having a point, we should give Silver a chance to come in as a sub and that sort of things. Not only that, we've got Yarmolenko can play striker, Antonio can play striker. You've got Bowen that can play striker. There's so many options there. Yes, Tim, I would sell Antonio at the end of the season, so don't worry.
Oh, good.
But but yeah, as for Julian Horger, no, thanks for everything, but good luck.
All right, we can take Lanzini's number 10 and give it to Hugel. That'd be better. I like that idea.
Okay. I don't think we should give him the number 9 shirt. However, I do think that he should be given a chance in the squad. Like I think Josh Cullen and everybody else that the few players that we didn't sell off, we just loaned out this season, I think should definitely have a chance next season. I would love to see Moyes practice what he preaches with the youth and the loanees, but also Jordan Hugel. I mean, he signed him to begin with. Like let's see what he's all about. Let's see what
he'll play hard.
Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Trust me, he would. You're right. I mean, he would play hard. So I don't give a shit what number he has. I don't care if it's 99. I don't care if it's.
I need to see more 99, like Serie A. I need to see some 80s, some 70s. I need some
88s.
numbers.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Mark Lindros, but yeah, so I would love to see him get an opportunity. Definitely, I don't want us to just get rid of him. I mean, let's see what he's got. Let's see if Moyes can show us why he signed it to begin with. But definitely not a number 9. He's not a number 1. I mean, I don't see that happening. Let's just be real. And then, I would love to see Yarmolenko get his shot because I think that he is an actual striker, and I think that what we will see the remainder of the season. If he doesn't get hurt, I think Yarmolenko will show that he is the number 2 striker and that Bowen's a winger, which is what he is. And he's great at that. He's going to be our best winger we've had in years. And Lanzini's, should go and so on. But anyway, Antonio, he's a super sub. I've said that a million times. I love him as that. I mean, I love him. I do as that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, nothing more. Okay, because he's not a striker. He's a winger. He always wants to go to the wing.
He's an athlete.
He never plays up top.
He's
he always
a beast.
goes to the side. Yeah, exactly. So I listen. I don't hate the guy. People think that I don't like Antonio. It's not true at all. I just think he needs to be in the wing for the longest. Anyway, should he be given a chance? I think he should be given a chance. Not for number 9 though, but yes, he should be given a chance to be a striker in the club. Absolutely. So let's just pick that one, see what happens. Championships is level. Only 94 to vote so far. So please, if you're in the chat room, head on over to Hammers Polls and vote away. Get some more. Get this number up. This number up a bit. Yeah, they got Hammers Polls, the FCA's Best in Social, the Football Content Awards. Please, if you have a chance, if you're over on Twitter, head on over there. Vote for Hammers Polls. Do that because they do provide us and a lot of other people like Green Street Hammers and West Ham is What We Drink. They provide a lot of us content.
Yeah, make sure to follow Karen Brady while you're at it.
Yeah, why are you following Karen Brady?
This is my personal account. This isn't my my. I follow him on and same goes with Dave. I love Dave, but I'm off. I don't know, whatever.
You're in trouble now.
Yeah, shit.
Oh, how.
You see how we just scroll right by that? Yeah, okay. So in the latest West Ham video showing the players training at Rush Green, you can see both Lanzini and Yarmolenko involved. Who starts against Wolves in the first game for Project Restart? Lanzini, Yarmolenko, both, or neither, whatever you want to say. Let's go with Ray and go down.
I think the answer is to start, they'll be on the bench. However, for me, I would love to see Yarmolenko start as our main striker. I've said this on the other show on Hammer Point. I would like to see Yarmolenko, Antonio in that centre number striker and attacking midfielder in that role, so they can play off each other. And that means that Yarmolenko can drop deep and then go up top, and they can vice versa, and that will confuse the hell out of the defence of the opposition. That's what I would like to see. Am I going to see that? No, we're not. We're going to get the same old Haller up front. And we're not. It's literally going to be exactly as before. So I don't think Lanzini will start. I don't think Yarmolenko will start. Should they both start? No, I would only pick Yarmolenko, but the answer is neither.
Yeah, I agree. It is definitely a really interesting point you make, though, right? Because speaking of Charlie Boy, I remember a while ago he was saying that it didn't really make sense where we played Yarmolenko because he plays a striker for his country. So It would be really interesting to see him and Haller, especially with them both being tall and actually really good with the ball on their feet. It would be interesting to see both of them up top to see how they play off of each other. Obviously, it's not going to happen. It was just kind of a dream at this point. But yeah, neither one of them start. I mean, with 5 subs, if that's what they approved. I mean, I'm sure we'll see them both on the pitch at some point. But yeah, they neither one of them starts for me.
Wally.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's room for either of them on the squad. I want to see Bowen in there. I want to see Haller and Anderson and Fornals. So there just isn't room for either of them. And I've forgotten, when was the last time Yarmolenko played for us? My gosh, I think it's been since last year. So, I would go with neither on this one.
The goal against United is the last one I can remember.
Wow, yeah.
But if out of this question, I would probably say neither as well. But if I had to pick between Lanzini or Yarmolenko, I'd probably go Yarmolenko because I think Lanzini's done and dusted with us. I think his work rate has dropped off with us. Yeah. I mean, when Paya was here, not to bring up memories or anything, when Paya was in the team, Lanzini was running around everywhere, making great runs into the box, scoring. I just don't see it anymore. But I would say neither. Too much talent.
So the thing is that it doesn't say who do we want to see. It does say who starts against Wolves in the first game, Project Restart. Moyes, not Moyes, I'm sorry. Well, not just Moyes. I think Gold and Sullivan have in Lanzini's contract that he must play X amount of games or must start X amount of games a season. Otherwise, the manager takes a pay cut or gets fined, which is why Pellegrini played him so much over Fornals, etc. Because there's no excuse for him playing as many games as he played this season. That also goes with what's his name? Moyes is guilty of it too, starting him in favor of Fornals. even though it started to pick up, Fournell started to get minutes and stuff like that, but it took a little bit, didn't it? So I don't know. We'll see. We don't know how everybody's gonna be handling in training, who's fit, who's not, blah blah blah. But my money would be on Lanzini getting a start, and if it was between the two, but I definitely go for neither in this question, who actually starts. But it wouldn't surprise me to see Lanzini starting, and again, for the conspiracy reasons that I just said. Thank you, Lee, for turning me into a conspiracy theorist I never was before I met you. Bastard.
We're trying to get him to play so many games so he gets performance, and people go, "Oh, it's 30 million. We'll have Lanzini off you."
That's a weird part of a contract to have. Like, you have to play a player X amount of times, or else you take a pay cut as a manager.
Yeah,
Like, that's wild. I don't know how anybody could agree to that.
No, I made that up, but I mean, I'm just saying. I think it's my conspiracy theory. I mean, I just it's probably bullshit. Trust me, everything I say is half bullshit. So don't take anything I say seriously, please, anybody. This is supposed to
Unless
be
it's about Luke Fabianski.
This is entertainment. This is AHTV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Tony brings up a good point, saying that Lanzini could, play at a better form with no crowd pressure too. Which, if that's the case, and I think it's a really interesting point. Obviously with this being the second person that we kind of said that they could return to form with no crowd pressure. Like, if that's the case, that's kind of wild to me. Like, I feel like you'd want to perform. Like, I can see a dip in performance because there's nobody around. Because I know a lot of players like that glory, being around the fans or shushing a crowd or making the crowd erupt. But that would be wild to me if you play better with nobody around. That would be insane.
I mean, that's kind of almost like any sport. I mean, I always refer to basketball. I mean, an empty gym, you could shoot 80% from anywhere.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Well,
yeah.
Just on that, when we had Les Ferdinand come and join us back before when we got relegated, apparently we was playing some amazing football in the training ground. But as soon as we got to the pitch, the pressure just got to the team. We had the likes of Defoe, Joe Cole, Frank Lampard.
We've had other players like that too that were only in training. Like, they were masters in training. Even Ravel Morrison was like the most famous one, where everybody says who's ever played with him that he was the best player that they've ever seen in training.
Massively in training, phenomenal.
Right.
Yeah, so, and who knows? I mean, we'll see.
Everybody can have a good week of practice.
But let's just take a look at this real quick. It does say 156 votes, and 13.5% really believe that. I mean, trust me, I would love to see Yarmolenko get a start, only in a formation where he's playing with, a layer up top. But 13% of the 156 people think that he's going to start. That's strange to me. I don't know.
5.1% is interesting to me too, because if you start both of them,
okay, yeah, shit, I didn't realize that.
Both of them, and that is not a starting lineup I want to see, to be honest. I mean, because you're probably taking Bowen out, and you're probably taking Fornals out, or if not, you probably only have one central defender or one striker, and that would be, I don't know. I mean, maybe against Wolves, sure, because they're not like the most pressing team, but that I don't know if I want to see that starting 11 if both of them are starting.
Well, I can see Antonio not starting because he's not joined the team until rather late, has he? He's been off like everyone else, and then his dad passed away. So
you know that meme, the meme of the black guy at the intervention and he's crying.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? The meme I'm talking about.
Mm-mm.
Like, when I saw him when I saw Antonio in training, all I could picture was like the way he had his hair and everything else. It just looked exactly like that guy. Like, he looks fucking 60 years old. Antonio does now. I don't know. He looks like he's been not working. Or not. Can't say not working now.
I think everybody looks rough coming out of quarantine.
That's what I mean. Yeah, but he looked old, man. He looked like he fucking aged.
Sorry, I look fucking.
Oh yeah,
Shit,
fair enough.
Yeah. Who am I to talk? Yeah.
Those eye drops definitely helped, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, I guess the last question is from our good friend Sofian, whatever his name is. He was in earlier. but he had to bounce because it's late and he went to bed. But he asks, do you think without fan pressure, we can see Felipe Anderson shine? Kind of what we were talking about with Lanzini. So without the pressure of the fans, do you think Felipe could do some damage? Yes or no, Ray, and let's go down.
Yes. I think I can see him nutmegging people as well. I can't wait to see them.
Man, I would love to see a return to Nutmeg and Anderson because that was so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. So yes, for me too.
Well, I actually think the opposite, and I would have agreed with you guys, but since I think Anderson's best year was last year, and it was Arnie who was kicking his butt all the time, and honestly, I thought when Arnie left, that would ease up the pressure on Anderson, and I thought he would play better, but he hasn't. So I actually think Anderson needs somebody kicking his ass, and with no crowd there, you know what? I'm afraid he's not going to shine. So I would say no to this.
I'm just going to go with theory and say without a crowd, I think anyone can play better than they normally do or would. So I'm going to go yes.
It'd be interesting too, kind of Wally, what you were saying about there being no pressure from teammates. I guess you kind of on the flip side of that, you could look at it too as saying maybe the pressure of him not being in the starting 11 anymore would be that pressure because his spot, he got overtaken by Fornals and he got overtaken by Bowen. And I guess in even some respects, he got overtaken by Suchek. So I think, the fact that, if 40 million pound player, got his spot taken up by a bunch of kids. Well, I guess not kids really outside of Fornals, but the fact that he's not in the starting 11, he was this high profile Brazilian player. I think that, could be pressure enough for him to need to return back to that form.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope that works on him. Because I think he's such a great player. I don't know what he just went missing this year. So
yeah,
I hope that pressure's on him.
Yeah, he showed a couple moments, especially with Moyes when he came in and just took the pass and just took it himself and drove straight in and scored a goal, which was very unlike him. But he showed initiative, and I like that. But either way, it doesn't matter. I mean, the guy's got all the talent in the world. He's just he's got to fit in. And again, that goes from the manager. The manager's got to know how to play. He's got to have a system. He's got to have his players playing a system. And his players got to play. And he's got to let some certain players have more freedom than others in certain situations. But that's shit that they should be training on the training pitch. So it's not up to us or, it's up to them. The players, they got to fucking do their thing, and it's up to the manager to get them to do it. Anyway, that's enough of the Hammers polls. I think that we've already used up the other ones. So before we go into like a 5-minute free for all and just discuss whatever you want, I do want to just bring up again, since no, I have not got no, I haven't gotten any responses back from Charlie Boy. So it looks like we still need somebody against Dom on Wednesday night. So if anybody wants to step up who's in the chat room or watching this after the fact, like I know it's Monday night right now, but maybe tomorrow you're watching this or the next day. As long as it's before Wednesday, please let me know if you want to go up against Dom in the Mr. Astragugu in the hammer shots. Because I think, and preferably someone who doesn't have to be from the UK, obviously, because I was trying to get Charlie Boy on, but someone who's got decent knowledge of the club that won't get smoked by someone who actually lives in England. So yeah, if you're awake at that time, you're more than welcome to come on. Just message me. Okay, thanks. Anyway, guys, is there anything that I missed the last few days that you want to discuss? Raymond, you got your finger pointed.
Not something that you've missed, Ish. However, tomorrow night on Hammer the Point, a little plug there, cheeky little plug.
Nice.
I'm going to be talking about the new kicks that have been leaked. So I've got a few. I'm going to talk about the kits and what I think of them. And, whoever team gets me on the show smart as well, I'd love to get their opinions. So that will be tomorrow night.
Brilliant. So for the rest of the week, that's awesome, dude. 'Cause I'm glad. I wasn't going to ask you. I'm glad you surprised me. So thank you. And I don't even know who you got on tomorrow. We'll figure that out tomorrow. I'll let you know tomorrow. But no, so Wednesday we got Hammer Shots, obviously, and then we have Lee's show at night, the West Ham Wednesday nights. Again, people in the chat room and also people watching this after the fact. Please, if you want to join the show ever, like I can't hunt everybody down, so you're more than welcome to join the show so long as you have some sort of device that can get you on here, and B, some sort of decent internet connection that you can stay on here, and not have technical difficulties. But anyway,
McDonald's Wi-Fi works perfect.
as long as you follow West Ham, I don't give a shit where in the world you are. If you're awake at the hours we do these shows, you're more than welcome to come on. I can't hunt down people all the time, and I know I forget to ask people on a regular basis, and I feel awful. It sometimes appears I'm asking the same people over and over again. I try to mix it up the best I can. But again, if you want to come on, just message me and I'll get you on. That's what it comes down to. Also, if you have any new show ideas, you want to do your own show on our channel, fucking feel free. Lastly, actually, great point, Tim. Great job, Tim. I'm glad you brought that up. So I was going to discuss this, but anyway, once football kicks back off, okay? The podcasts are coming back, the audio podcasts, okay? We need people to do the podcasts. So if you want to do some audio podcasts for American Hammers Radio, message me. That's another thing. So if you want to do some podcast stuff, you want to be guests on the podcast that we already have, or you want to create your own little show on our network, I'd be more than happy to get you going with that. Because again, American Hammers Network is all about giving everybody all over the world the platform to do their thing and have fun with it, take ownership, and do your thing. So, yes, Kieran, I think pretty much everybody voted for you to do it. So I think it looks like Kieran's going to go against Dom Wednesday night. So there you go. All right, Kieran. Fucking A. That's awesome. That'll be great, Kieran. That'll be awesome. That'll be a great show. Kieran, you got to step up your swear game, though. I got to tell you. Make me proud. Anyway, so what we're gonna say, we got American Hammers Radio. We got all sorts of cool shows coming up. Please message us. Also, we got stuff in the shop. Please buy it, and all that good stuff. That helps the channel because we have expenses, obviously, and to give everybody this platform, it costs money. And you buy shirts, you get actually something cool, tangible. What was the other thing? We got new designs and also masks. Those damn masks that you're supposed to wear. We got those where you can put the logos on it.
Very cool.
I hope they're live. I know Alex said he created them. I don't know if they're live or not, but I'll get on him about that. Now that I said it on the air, he's going to have to do it. Is there anything else anybody here or anybody in the chat room wants us to talk about real quick? Because we have about 5 minutes. Actually, no, we don't. Never mind. 9 o'clock. So it's time to wrap up. But if anybody also wants to contribute questions to Hammer Shots and help out Adam, right? Like Wally's done a great job. I know Rebecca's come up with questions. Robert's come up with some questions for him because he can't, think of it all. It helps the show. Please don't give the answers to the contestants. God damn it. But please, if you want to help contribute, be a part of it, you're more than welcome. I want to thank my guests tonight. Lucas, it's been great seeing you again. I hope to have you back on soon again. Wally, King of Prussia, as always, I love having you on.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Repping Detroit tonight.
Yeah.
Sully, love having you on, obviously. So thank you for contributing tonight. Really appreciate it. I hope you all had fun. And Raymond, my brother from another mother. If I put my hat like this to a point, I can kind of look like him.
Nice.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But then I have hair. But anyway, sorry, Ray.
Wow. Wow.
Sorry. I love you, Ray. I do. Guy gives great hugs too. He's second best to Charlie Walsh. But love him. Anyway, thank everybody in the chat room. I appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow night on Hammer the Point. Thank you, Ray. And if anybody wants to join Ray tomorrow night and Hammer the Point, let me know and I'll get you hooked up. All right. Talk to you later. I'll talk to you guys off the air real quick. But have a great night, everybody. And good morning.
Take care.
Good night.